It's your boy Danny J. Quick, and I'm here with Kyron Silva. And we want to thank you for joining the Four Tales podcast.
I want to know what it is Quick is trying to say.
We're about to talk some comics and get a little bit controversial. Everything from indie books to movie to level commercial. With no rehearsals when we converse to coerce you. And then we do the quick takes and try to get to the person. So join us and get your comic book a few more sales once a week wherever you pod. It's Four Tales. Once a week wherever you pod. It's Four Tales.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Taurus Comics in collaboration with Fourth Wall Production respectfully brings to you the 178th episode of the Four Tales podcast. I'm your host, Kyron Silva from Taurus Comics. Across the way is the bluish red biographer of Ace Blade, Danny J. Quick, and together we are your two award-winning political comic creators here to help you find your next favorite comic. We are live via Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube and TikTok. So if you're listening or watching us live, thank you for your support. But don't forget to like, subscribe, and review this podcast because all your positive interactions help us reach a bigger audience. I almost messed up again.
It's all right. We got to get back into practice, man. Every time we take a break for the end of the season, it takes a couple episodes to get back into the swing of things, man. So
no, that's not it though. I almost did the old AOG thing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's gonna take.
I almost did that one.
We did that for like 150 episodes, so it's gonna take some time to get used to not saying that too. But
yeah, SF Gaming 1 says hail Page 1 Comics. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, there we go.
All right. We're gonna bring our guest on soon enough, but we got Danny and I need to interact. We need to talk to each other. It's been a week. It's literally been like 3 minutes since Danny's last messaged me about something.
Like I was telling my wife, I talked to you and Morgan like you're my actual family members. Like I probably talk to you more than I talk to my actual family members. Like I talk to my brothers probably once a week, my sisters probably once a week. I talk to you, Morgan, Wally, and Ro more than I talk to anybody else in my life. For the past probably 3 years. How long have we known each other, Kyron? It's been 3, 4, 5 years, maybe.
Oh, it's been longer than that.
Longer than 5 years?
Yeah, because we started this in the pandemic.
Oh yeah, good grief.
I mean, I'm pretty sure there's some system in Facebook that will tell us how long.
Facebook will tell us someday, one random day in June, it'll be like, you guys have known each other for 7 years today.
Oh my God. All right. Okay, wait. You and I have been Facebook friends since January 2018. So it's been 8 years.
Wow. Okay.
Damn. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
That's cool, man.
Are you feeling better?
I'm feeling a little better. I still have this cough that's nagging, won't go away. I got my energy back though. I got, I don't have as much of a sore throat. I'm doing all right though. How about you?
Yeah, man, I'm doing all right. We had my daughter started driving this week, and my second oldest daughter started driving this week, so I don't have to pick her up from school anymore. But I guess
how is your anxiety? Because I know it's not.
No. She's the one who she obeys the rule of the road. She's a defensive driver. And I taught both of them. I taught Kendra and Stephanie how to drive, but Kendra is like more of a free spirit. She drives with her feelings. She's like, I can make it. Whereas Stephanie's like, I can't. Stephanie's more like, I can't determine how fast that car is going, so I'm gonna wait. So right. I'm not as worried about Stephanie. She just got back from hanging out with her friends for the first time, and they went thrifting. Is that
still a thing?
That's what they went to do. So, okay. I'm not as worried about her. I just, I have her location and make sure that I keep in contact with her just because, she's not used to being out, but she's pretty responsible. So,
if someone who could have told us back in the 90s that kids nowadays and adults would be like, I'm going to go to the thrift store for fun because
Right.
I really want to buy other people's clothing.
I would have never thunk it.
Nah. All right.
I was gonna ask you, what are we using for Twitch?
What do you mean?
Where do we broadcast on Twitch? Are we broadcasting on the Four Tails podcast page, or is it your personal page?
We are broadcasting right now on Twitch on the Four Tails podcast page and my personal page. So both.
Okay, all right.
Why?
Because I need to find something to do with this Amazon Prime subscription I have. So,
Hey, I just used mine. I just used mine on another Twitch account. Why, Dad? Yeah, if you are on Twitch and you want to support us, please go to the Four Tails podcast and use your Amazon subscription to support us and be a subscriber. That'd be great.
yeah.
That'd be so nice. You want to introduce our guest then? We wasted time enough, I guess. So.
Yeah, we have. I'm sorry. Absolutely. This week we got an amazing comic book creator. We got Alfred Paige from Page One Comics. He's been writing comics since 2000, the year 2000, and his love of the X-Men and Image comics made him want to be a creator. He's done Blowtorch, Chess, and we're here to talk about. It's not Beer and Bullets. It is the Footpath
and Beer and Bullets.
Welcome to the show, Paige. Do we call you Alfred or Paige? Which one do you like?
Paige is good.
Yeah, he got Paige right there.
Yeah. Go by Paige, man. How you been doing, man?
Yeah, Paige is good. Thank you so much. I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to be here amongst the greats. So I appreciate that.
Hey, we're trying to be like you, man. We appreciate you coming
on. Nah. I'm trying to be like y'all. You know what I mean? But we all trying to be like each other.
There we go.
There you go.
So,
yeah.
So for anybody, it's not Fortnite. I'm sorry, Shy. We forgot to update the title. So we will be playing Fortnite one Friday this month, but we're talking about comics right now. Paige, for anybody in the audience who may not know your work, tell us how you got into comics and what you're here to talk about today.
Yeah, I got into comics like Danny mentioned earlier, like about 2000. I was a big fan of Image and X-Men and started writing and stuck with it over the years, and just doing it more serious now. And I run Page One Comics, and today we're talking about the 2026 lineup of comic books that's coming out, including Footpath and Bear and Bullets and other titles. So yeah, we're still moving.
Nice,
staying in it for the long run.
That's right.
Now, Paige, how many books are you producing this year, do you think?
I'm in the middle of 5 right now. So I'm in Footpath is about wrapping up. Bear and Bullets came out. That's going to be in Filbo distribution this month.
Okay.
We're doing a part 2 called The Bear. Subject Zero and Pinpoint, and those pages just started, and that's fantastic. That looks incredible.
That promo
we also got
from The Bear looks really fun. But I think in your Bear and Bullets comic, you had one of your characters was wrestling a bear. I think, right?
Yeah, Pinpoint. That's what started the whole. That's what started the whole thing. So there's a comment by a Fuller Bay. There's a comment that he made on one of the pictures about this bear needs its own comic book. And I said to Malcolm, I said, hey, you know something? That fast, we already on page 4. So
hey, I love it. That's one of the dope things about indie comics. You literally get an idea. I had an idea. I had been working on something to pitch to Kyron actually for his comic book stable, and it just clicked to me because of a comment that somebody else made. I was like, oh, that's the perfect thing to go with that. Now I'm almost ready to pitch it to him. So And we can make anything that we want to. That's one of the cool things about indie comics is that you literally,
That's right.
you can write it and you can get it put out. And I know as a writer, you are busy, man. I remember how fast you put that Ace Blade script together. What is your process for
Yeah.
writing stories?
If I have the idea in my head, it's fast. You know what I mean? Like this week, within like last 2 weeks, I wrote like 5 scripts. So it's fast if I have the idea in my head. You know what I mean? But if I gotta think it through as I'm writing it, it takes a while longer. So if I get the initial idea, like like for instance, all right, I want Danny to jump out this building and land on the truck. Okay, so now I gotta write him to the building. Why is he in the building? I write to a vision that the initial idea. So as soon as I get to that idea, half the script's done. So it just makes it easy. So that's if I got the idea, it's fast. The hard part is the dialogue. You know what I mean? Because you can write action easy. You gotta go back and add the dialogue and make sure it reads correct and makes sense as you're reading it. And not just a bunch of pictures and stuff. So I think that's the hardest part about scripts.
For someone that's not familiar with your work, where would you say your writing leans towards? Is it more action? Is it more character driven?
I like action. I like the the wild moments in a comic book. So that's why I like to write now. When I started, the structure is different. You know what I mean? So the structure is 4 issues or 5 issues. You had character development, you had mid story, you had ending, and that was the standard. Then it's like music. Back in the days, you used to go out and buy CDs. Now everything streams. So the way I do it now, I do more one shots than full runs now.
Side note to streams, did y'all see that Gangsta's Paradise passed 1 billion streams last week or something like that?
Coolio? You talking about Coolio?
Yeah. Passed 1 billion streams.
I'm gonna take I'm gonna take credit for that because I just introduced my middle daughter to Gangsta's Paradise, and she's been streaming it constantly since then. For like the past month, Stephanie, she's been rapping it minute after minute, hour after hour, and
who's that? Your daughter?
My middle daughter, Stephanie. Yeah, she had never heard the song before. I think she loves like knowing where samples come from. So I think somebody had sampled it, and I was like, "Oh, that's Gangsta's Paradise," and she was like, "What's that?" I was like, "Oh man."
That's a sample for something else also. So.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
You could get a purple Impala.
Could get a purple Impala for sure.
Put Ace Blade on the back of it.
Hey, don't tempt me. Don't tempt me with a good time because I don't need any more reasons to buy more purple stuff. For sure.
Yeah, but yeah. Along with that, I'm doing some new titles I'm doing some new titles this year too. I don't know if you know DeMario Hill.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He has a character called Osmo that we put a story together for, and we're on like page 4 of that as well. So that's like my first outside character.
Okay.
It's
you
not
sent a
related
picture
to
of
Chef.
that one, right?
Yeah, that's one right there.
Okay. So what is Osmo about? Like, give us the rundown on that. It looks like it's action oriented.
Somewhat. I write it a little different than I do Chess. So I wrote it a little different than did Chess because he's an ex-cop. He has powers that he could make duplicates and stretch. Okay. Right, but he's a recovering alcoholic. So his missions are more self-centered. He's not like a hero, like, hey, boom, here I am to save the day. That's not what he does. He's more self-centered or doing something for a point. You know what I mean? So he's a fun character to write. I wanted to write his powers different than how usually you see people do it, like multiple men and X Factor or characters like that have characters that could duplicate themselves. So I want to use them in a different way. So hope I sent a script to D Mario. He loved the idea and playing how I used them, and gave him a love interest, and now we're working on Osmo issue 1, so that be out sometime this summer.
Okay. We got a question here from DeAndre Robinson saying, "Good evening, gentlemen, and looking forward to Footpath." Paige, how do you find your such awesome artists?
I look around. I look for certain styles that I want.
Where do you look?
So I mean, I just look around. You see a lot of artists come on either Facebook or other comic books or something like that. Everybody, what's the style that I want that's different? You know what I mean? Like for Footpath, I'm using Marcelo Solaza that has a different art style than like Edson or something like that. It gives a book a different look. And it's just, that's it. That's people. I look for pacing. I look for artists that does pacing. You know what I mean? You know how they do storytelling to script. So once I find an artist that knows how to do the pacing that I like, the page setups that I like, then I usually stick with those type of artists.
Okay. That's pretty cool. So I want to know, for as far as the storytelling goes, the things that I've read from you are really action based. A lot of, like you said, beer and bullets. I know one of your characters, some of them have superpowers, some of them don't. There was one that you specifically said could read minds and emotions. How do you go about like portraying something like that in a comic book? Like I know when they were at that table, he was like, "I can read your minds and your emotions, so you can't lie to me." How do you portray something like that in a comic?
Oh, you're talking about Bear and Bullets. Oh,
yeah.
Oh, you're talking about Bear and Bullets. That's Malcolm's character.
Really?
That's Malcolm's character. Subject Zero is from 615 Comics.
Oh, okay.
So Subject Zero has he can hear your fears. He has his power that he can hear your fears. And funny enough, when Malcolm first told me about that power, I didn't understand it. How you would use that in a comic book. Mm-hmm. But when you read his I don't know if you get a chance to read Subject Zero issue 1 or Bear and Bullets, I see how he uses it as a part of a caption and storytelling for a different type of dialogue. So it's creative. I like it. I actually like it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So shout out to Malcolm for that idea.
Yeah, and Malcolm, I know you emailed us about being on the show. I will reach out to you to set out a date probably in February if we can. I'm gonna get you on there. Just this week's been busy. I've been sick and whatnot, so I'm gonna get you on here. Speaking of with you doing so many crossovers, how hard is that for you? Because you're probably used to writing your own stuff, but now you got other people's work that you got to be conscious of how their characters are. How difficult is that for you to work with so many different creators on a book?
For me, crossovers are more fun. So like you said, I've been doing it since 2000. So I did all the standards already. I did the 4 issues. So now what keeps comic books fun to me is like crossovers or stories of that nature. Or something different. Because I wrote chess. I've been writing chess since like 96, 97. You know what I mean? So the first issue of chess came out at Ronin Studios somewhere around 2000, 2001. Footpath comic book came out like 2004. Back then, my first crossover was Footpath Vinger, like in 2004, 2005. So doing all those standards, I went through all the standards of writing already. So now I like crossovers because I just like the impact of fun and things like that. It's more fun and keeps me going now than going through the standard of 4 issues and 5 issues here and stuff like that. And at conventions, I find that my one-shots sell more than the comic books. You know what I mean? People are like, that one shot, let me get that. And it's one and done. They ain't got to look for nothing. They ain't got to go tracking online. They ain't got to go to the store. It's one and done. And yeah, after that, I've been doing a lot of one shots. So
Comment here from Brad Arnie says, "Is anyone considering a Pinpoint Ace Blade Saw crossover?"
See, we need to make it happen. If
Um,
Brad wants it, we need to make it happen.
Brad can fund it if he wants. I mean, I know Brad got money like that, so he can fund it.
I have asked Danny for Ace Blade. I have asked Danny for Ace Blade for the last 6 years.
Oh,
Hey man,
You know what I mean? But
I've been busy.
I
I've been busy. I ain't gonna lie, but never too busy to work with.
But I am ecstatic to see that he's doing something with Watson. You know what I mean? I'm looking forward to see how that's gonna come out. And he's jumped into the crossover lane. So it's good to see.
Yeah, we got I got one with Mike Watson coming out. I mean, we did the Epiphany engine last year. I'm warming up to doing more I'm warming up to doing more crossovers and things like that. You know, it's been so busy, man. And everybody doesn't
It's
have
a task, yeah.
Yeah, everybody doesn't got the endless budgets like Brad and Kyron to do all these projects. But I've seen that increased interest in like one shots and things like that too. So when you go to how often do you do conventions, and how do you usually pitch, comics to people in conventions, since you have so many different ones?
It depends. I usually use a movie reference when I at cons, because most of the comic books is action. So I'm like, are you a fan of Mission Impossible? Are you a fan? Depending on the age group that who I'm talking to. If it's somebody a little bit older, I'd be like, do you remember a movie called Tango and Cash? You like the type of explosion action? Yeah, I missed that. And this is the type of comic book for you. If it's a younger person that probably gonna remember that, I could be like, well, what kind of movies do you like? So that's usually how I open the conversation up. With if I'm talking to somebody younger, I know I'm going for a younger comic book, like Chess City of Heroes. It's like a young comic book. There's no cursing in there. There's no blood. It's just superheroes and the chess team fighting robots. More fun and more Avenger-like, I guess. You know what I mean? Old school Avenger type of comic book, safe. But if I'm talking to somebody older, I can introduce the Pinpoint comic books. I can introduce the Bearing Bullets, things that's a little bit more violent and more realistic.
Do you have a book that you normally recommend to people that says like this is what Page One Comics is really about, like one particular issue?
My favorite one that I did so far is Blowtorch Bad Roads. To me, this came out 10 times better than I thought when I had the idea. And I got that idea by watching Roadhouse. One day I was just watching Roadhouse, and Roadhouse went off, and I was like, something, I want to do a gritty style in-town comic book. So, that night I just wrote it. I got with Alex the Grochi, my writing partner on that, and we just put it together that fast. And that comic book came out so good with the artwork and the how people responded to it. It's won awards. It's a fantastic read, and I think it's my best put together comic book that I did so far.
Yeah,
that's dope. I got to check that one out. I know I remember seeing the promotional art for it. I didn't read that one yet, but I need to make sure I get me a copy so I can add it to the list. This year I'm doing I'm trying to read more comics than I buy this year. And
you're not doing a good job at that, I can tell.
No. I'm doing a good job for now, but I'm at 14 books read, and I've only purchased 4 books, but I have not gone to my LCS since the beginning of the year. So I know that I got like 20 books waiting for me on my pulls list. So I gotta get it together. But Paige, man, I think the one shot thing, like, I'm really interested in that, because I think a lot of the benefits of doing indie comics is that there's not a barrier to entry. Like, one of the reasons these young kids anyway are telling me that they don't read comic books is because they feel like they gotta have 50 years of knowledge on Spider-Man or Batman or whoever. And
that's correct.
Stop it, Kyron.
No, I want to question that because we say that, but then they'll go out there and read 1,000 issues of One Piece and pick
But
that up with no issue.
but they
Or
know where to start
Yeah,
with
well,
One Piece.
yeah, but I mean, you
but
can then that's
anime's
their
on the
issue on
rise.
us.
That's a different story.
But
That's a
that's
different story. Anime's on the rise. You know what I mean? That's a whole
that's
different
our fault
story.
then as a culture that we didn't find ways to have entry points for them.
But that's
More
what I'm
than anything.
saying. Indie comics have that. Like you can literally
That's
get
right.
my issue 1. You can get my issue 1 right now. You know what I'm saying? You can't find
That's right.
Spider-Man #1. Like you can't just
You can't. Okay, but you can find it digitally. You can find graphic novels. You can find trades.
Yeah, but
And there's
I don't
so
think
many
the
different
attention.
Spider-Man #1s that you can pick up and start getting into that story.
I don't think the attention is like that anymore. You know what I mean? To be honest, I don't think the attention is like that anymore. When these kids come, everything's fast. Everything's fast. It's not like when we was younger. We was, we get comic books and we sit them on the front steps and read them or whatever. These kids now, everything's fast. Everything's social media. Everything's moving different. So that's why that's why I like doing one shot, because you're just selling that one story. You're just selling that one comic book, that one product. And if they like it, then they could come back and get more of the world of that world. Maybe a Pinpoint comic book or another Blowtorch or something else. Alien's Passage. They could get something else, but they could take that book home and have a complete story within that book. And that's more or less to be the attention span of today's generation. So,
Okay, Paige out here solving our issues, everybody.
there we go. That's what I'm talking about. That's what we're here for. That's
You
what
hear what?
That's what the podcast is for us to solve these issues in the indie community.
Yeah. But I mean, that's why I like doing them. And they're faster. It's I could get to the idea faster. And that's how Bear and Bullet started. Bear and Bullet started just by a conversation I was having with Tony Cottrell and Malcolm about, we got similar characters, but they're different. You know what I mean? Like on the cover, or to somebody who's looking at it, Malone, Sub-Zero, and Pinpoint would be similar characters. They'd be alike. They do the same thing. But when you read Bear and Bullet, you get an idea of how they're separate. And that was the whole point of me writing Bear and Bullets, was to show these three characters how they got a different approach for everything, even though they do similar jobs. They're different personalities.
And I think that there's space for that. I think that's a great idea, because a lot of times, even with Ace Blade, people will be like, "Oh, he's a vigilante. He's just a black Batman." But the stories are completely different. Like the approaches are completely different. So
Yeah,
and
I get the same thing
right.
when people look at Club Bat. They're like, he's just a Black Daredevil or something. I'm like, all right, he's different. He's got different issues. He's got different problems.
does he
Yeah.
though, Kyron?
Yes, he does.
Does he? We need to explore that. You know what? I'm gonna write a Club Bat. I'm gonna write a Club Bat issue for you for your universe. We gonna make it happen. That'll be terrible. I'm not doing that at all. But man. So comic book conventions. I know I've been talking about doing more conventions this year. I'm not the type of person. I prefer to be behind the screen. I prefer to be making videos and talking to people online. But I know comic book conventions are so important. Where are you on that balance between social media and live in person? Because I noticed. I mean, I've seen your Facebook page and your Instagram, but I know that you also do in person stuff. So where are you on that balance?
I like conventions. I like being out there in the field. I like because every person you meet at conventions, it's the first time they're hearing about your comic book. Right. For the most part. I mean, you might get a following, like if something comes out. Like I did a signing for Bad Roads at New York MegaCon with Tyler Kirkland. Right. So those instances, people are coming to look for your book. But for the most part, when you're independent, 90% of the people you talk to is the first introduction to your comic book. So I like that field of keep meeting people and keep pushing, and then Those people come back. When those faces come back around, like I read this, I got this last time. And you got issue 2. I read this. You got something else? That's I like building that type of fan base and interacting with people that way more than trying to do direct sales and stuff like that on social media.
So are you doing more like the same shows? Are you doing, the same shows year after year, building audiences like that, or are you trying to go out to say Sacramento or something like that? Go to the West Coast with us. I'm trying to get out to there to CrockerCon this year. And I've never been out there for a show, so I think that would be different. But like you said, you'd be meeting new people. So, what's the farthest that you've done, and what's the farthest you're willing to go?
I actually just was talking about this. I really want to go out to some brand new cons that I never did before. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So like D2E2 or the big one in California. This other guy, he just went to Japan. And I was like, wow, you know what I mean? Oh. So I would love to try, because I've been, I did Florida cons, and I run into the same people, and I've been blessed to have a rotate of people that come and always support and buy stuff.
Yeah.
No matter what kind I'm at, they find me. And that's been a blessing. But when I take this lineup of all new comic books, I do want to go out and test the market someplace. I mean, Ohio, come out by y'all, or and someplace I've never been. This a brand new field of people. So I'm looking forward to doing that this year. Actually trying to make plans for that as well. So hopefully it works out. If I can get in, if I can get a table.
How hard is it for you as a writer to also do the other things like the marketing and editing, things like that? How do you handle all that?
That's the hard part. So, once you got the idea and you put it together, now you got whether it's a Kickstarter, what I mean? You gotta blast people constantly, what I mean? Now you gotta promote and do the business ends, and it's not as much fun as writing the comic book, but it's necessary, what I mean? So I don't particularly like the marketing part. That's why I like cons. I mean, I think that my best marketing is at cons in person, because I'm not savvy when it comes to like social media. I know like Danny does TikTok shop, and I always say Danny should have had a comic book TV show. You know what I mean? But people that I'm not as visible as that. You know what I mean?
Don't give him ideas, please. Don't.
Nah, but I told Danny that before, even before TikTok, when he used to do these clips. He's constant. Like the kid, there's a kid on TikTok now. I don't know him, but he's from like Impound Comics.
Yeah.
Every time I turn on TikTok, he's running some kind of talking about what the comic book is. That type of promotion and marketing is fantastic. I just never. I'm not. I don't do that. I don't have that knack. I don't have that talent that these guys have. Watch. It might be something I need to try.
I'm sorry. Is that me, Kyron, or is that?
Yeah, you blanked out for a little while, but you're back.
I don't know. I can't tell.
Any feedback?
I'm hearing some kind of static feedback or something. I don't know. Where it's coming from.
I'm hearing it too.
Maybe that's a sign that we need to go to quick takes.
Yep, it is. It is time for quick takes for sure. All right, Paige. If you're ready, we're gonna do quick takes. Go ahead, Kyron.
I'm not ready. Dang, I knew I forgot something.
Quick takes.
Hold up, wait. Let me get this one more time. Hold up, wait.
Quick takes.
Oh, hell no. Do you have a Seahawks jersey on your head? Oh, man.
What happened?
Are you a Seahawks fan, Alfred?
Are you a Seahawks fan?
Nah. It's just the hat I had. I think one of my kids gave it to me. So.
All right, cool. Man. Whew.
Yeah, because then
probably just matching my speeches for the day or something.
We both
Oh.
have beef with you. The Panthers beat us for years in a row.
What is that
You need
noise?
I hear it too.
Chat,
All
you
right,
guys
so
hear that too? Or okay,
I
Rose
think
says he hears it.
Ro says he hears it. So maybe
Yeah,
it's
that's a,
it might be on Paige's end. But
I don't
we'll get through it. All right. So if you've never seen the show before, Quick Takes is a rapid Q&A session where we grill our guests on their deepest, darkest secrets from the internet. These questions are just designed for our audience to get to know you a little bit better. And we're gonna ask you 5 questions. You're gonna have 45 seconds each to answer them. And we're gonna start with question number 1. So I want to know.
I
Paige,
want to know. Sorry.
you can only do one of these things for the rest of your life. You have to quit one forever. And you got to explain why. Chess, as in your comic, or spades. Which one do you give up for the rest of your life and why?
No, you can't shake your head. You got to pick one.
You got to pick one. and
Nah.
tell us why.
Those are the 2 things I do. So that's like picking from your kids or something like that. I can't.
So which kid do you not like?
So you gotta like one of your kids better than the other. You gotta give up one.
Nah. I mean, that's a no go. I mean, I play spades. I play spades and I write. That's what I do. So and I can't help you with that one. That question.
He pleading the fifth on this question. That's wild.
See, question number 1. He already pleading the fifth. All right.
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, that one's no good. That one's no good.
We'll let you slide on that one. We'll let you slide on that one then. All right, question number 2. So I saw that you got a signed picture from Bruce Leroy himself. As you probably know, I'm a big fan of Barry Gordy's The Last Dragon. Tell us what's your favorite part of that movie, or why it means so much to you, and why you go out of your way to get a picture from Bruce Leroy himself.
This question sounds vaguely familiar from last week. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's one of my favorite movies. That's my top 5, The Last Dragon.
Yeah.
I watched the whole movie just to see that part when Vanity comes down in that platform and she's throwing her hair. That's I watched the whole movie just for that one part. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
Yeah. Like I know you had something the other day. What's your favorite part from the movie? But when Leroy saved her the first time at the limo, he kicked the dude through the window and all that. I'm like, yo, I love this movie.
Yeah.
So
it's a classic, man.
Yeah, that's my favorite movie. Yeah. And the character Leroy, I can't remember his real name. It was Ada Khan.
He had a what?
No, he was Ada Khan. And my daughter got the autograph for me. It's my daughter that got this. I got a surprise for you. And he signed it, and then he signed my name and something, and wrote something to me on it. So
that's awesome.
Nice.
That's awesome. See, I wish my kids would look out for me like that, but we'll see. That's dope. That's one of my favorite movies too. We're gonna make it a prerequisite for people to come on the show that they gotta watch The Last Dragon. All right, question number 3. I saw you did a post a while back about the troubles with dating after 50. So I want to give you an opportunity for 45 seconds. What are some advice you would give folks for dating after 50?
Patience. You know what I mean? Dating now, you just everybody got their life already. You know what I mean? They're set in their ways for what worked and what didn't work. So now it's just like accept it. Just accept it. Just don't waste time trying to negotiate or fix. Just accept who they are and try and make the best out of that. Because they're not going to change after 50. It's nothing going to happen. So
it's tough. Okay, that's tough. Hey, well, keep getting out there, bro. Are you still single, or are you locked down?
Why are you asking?
I might got somebody to hook him up with. You never know. He just shaking his head. Okay, all right, all right, all right. I'm gonna
That's
take
a need to know question is what it is.
I'm gonna leave that alone then. Question number 4. So I was actually supposed to meet you for the first time at Urban Nerd Con. That show did not happen. Um, you
Correct.
know, it was a travesty. I was looking forward to it. It was a big event, but what can we do in the community to prevent things like Urban Nerd Con from happening?
I mean, life happens. That gentleman, Roy, I know he tried it a couple of times. I did have a chance. I still went to Atlanta that weekend.
Oh, I did
So
too. I
I
was out
had,
there too.
yeah, we all went down. We all still went out there. Me, Diddley, uh, and a few other guys. We all went down there, and they had a show. They did a substitute show in the mall at Tony Cade's comic book
Oh,
store.
okay.
So we all got a chance to go over there. I mean, it wasn't nothing like what we was expecting to go there and do. I mean,
Yeah.
it wasn't nowhere near the event that we were trying to go do. But Tony Cade opened up his store and said, "Well, since you're down here, just come sit up here and just chill for a day. And as people walk in, you could talk to them and stuff like that." So that's what we did. Played some spades. He chilled out, and yeah, it's still a good weekend. It wasn't what we went down there for, or the anticipation that we went down there for as a con. But it's like hanging out weekend. So
Yeah,
it,
I
it,
do
it
remember that
still
now.
worked out.
Me and my wife, I had the hotel room booked, so me and my wife ended up going and just spending some time together out there that weekend. But I could have came to the, if I would have thought about it, I should have came to the mall and at least hung out. So I still would have got to meet you.
Yeah, yeah. It's a lot of people there, believe it or not. A lot of creators came down, and even that girl from the TV show that was supposed to be, I guess she's a celebrity guest
Mhm.
at Urban
Yeah.
Nerd Con. She
That
came and stayed
Tasha.
there the whole day too. Tasha, something like that. Yeah.
From the
So she came there and stayed the whole day too. So we all just chilled out. I mean, it's actually fun. It wasn't profitable, but it's fun. You know what I
no,
mean?
that's
So
that's
Yeah.
good. That's good. The community coming together and for that. Okay, so last but not least, we're gonna give you a top 5 list. For question number
okay.
5, off the top of your head, I know
Mhm.
that you said X-Men and Image Comics got you into comics. So I want to know, who are your top 5 X-Men characters?
My top 5 X-Men characters: Cyclops, Colossus, Wolverine, Rogue, and Storm.
Oh, the OG. Okay, all right.
Okay.
X-Men the animated series OGs. I like it. I like it. That was easy peasy then. All right, man. Well,
Yeah,
we'll
yeah. I'm a big X-Men fan. So
yeah. Are you into the MCU at all? Are you looking forward to the X-Men coming to the MCU?
no, I don't think I don't. There hasn't been one good X-Men movie out yet. So
You didn't like Days of Future Past?
garbage.
Oh man, I
Yeah,
like that one.
they have not done an accurate, correct X-Men movie yet. You know what I mean? I
Man.
think this time it'd be the closest because it's actually uniform
Mhm.
accurate to the comic book. It's the first time they're doing uniform accurate to the comic book. You
Yeah,
know,
I'm hoping
hopefully
they
that
do it
makes a
good.
difference. Yeah, I'm hoping they do it good because it's a shame that they haven't had a good X-Men movie all this time.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Well, I
Yeah.
appreciate you doing that for us, Paige. This week, Quick Takes is brought to you by 5 Star Comic Con. We are going to be out there. Me and Kyron will be there, as well as Tony Clapper and Michael Watson.
Nice.
We'll be out in Dayton, Ohio. So make sure y'all
Mm.
come and see us, man. We're gonna have a good time. Uh,
Yeah.
so Kyron, back to you.
All right. We got one more question in the audience here from DeAndre. Say, Paige, are you planning on re-releasing older Pinpoint comics?
Yeah. Actually, I'm putting my convention specials that did very well. I'm gonna put them in Filbo distribution. So this month in Filbo distribution, we have the Nito Diaz Gold Foil, Glow Touch, Barry the Past cover, which did real well. So I'm making everything that people will love. I'm making all of it available now through Filbo distribution. So the Pinpoint trade is coming back with a specialty cover, and yeah, you should. That's in the next couple of months, so
Okay.
you could look for that. You could look for that as well. You know, they just did the anniversary run at Antarctic Press.
Mhm.
They did the anniversary pinpoint release last year,
Okay.
and that as well. So we're gonna bring back the trade with the limited cover for those that like to collect the specialty covers. So
Okay. All right. Well, we want to make sure our audience follows you and keeps up when like all these new covers come out. What's the best place online that people can keep up with you and your work?
you know, on Facebook, I got a page called Project Chess, which I list all my new projects on. Of course, Paige Alfred on Facebook as well. I'm associated with Comicsburg, with Marvin Wayne and the Comicsburg crew, so they have some of the titles over there. And yeah, that's it. You know, you can find me. I'm always posting or trying to grab new people. So
Okay.
when I'm those three,
All right.
you can find me.
All right. And Danny, where can people find you at?
If you want to find me, the best place to go is my website, fourthwallpros.com. And if you want to find me on social media, it's at the Ace Blade on all social media platforms. Kyron, where can people find you?
Best place to find me is at tauruscomics.com. I am at all social media platforms at Taurus Comics. And this is the first time you've ever checked out our podcast, you can go to our website, fourtailspodcast.com. You can listen to previous episodes. You can find a link to 5-Star Comic Con, and check out all the great stuff there. But please join us next week where we're going to have creator Daryl Murphy on the show. We're going to talk about his books and everything that he has going on. But until then, though, everybody, sayonara, goodbye, and please take care of yourselves.
All right.
Music provided by my brother, Quix Made It. Find him online in YouTube, Instagram, and SoundCloud.
I want to know what it is Quick is trying to say.